The FDA on Monday doubled down on its identification of Taylor Farms as the source of the cyclosporiasis outbreak, saying its traceback investigation continues to converge on shredded iceberg lettuce from Taylor Farms locations in central Mexico.
And do those farms in Mexico have the same standards of cleanliness that we do here in the U.S.?
It depends where they're selling their products to. If they're selling their products to the U.S., they absolutely have to abide by FDA standards. Do they always do that is the question.
It may be the case we will never find out definitively where the source was from.
Would you buy lettuce tonight?
Yes, but I go in knowing the fact that we live in a complex food system and there is no such thing as zero risk when you eat fresh produce.
Are you tired of having these sad, soggy veggies in your fridge? I'm going to show you how to fix this right now. Welcome back to Seed Time and Harvest. If you have a lot of pepper on your plant, now is the time to pick them. If you leave them on the plant too long, they're gonna get wrinkled, they may get over-ripened, or pests may come and devour them. So let's get picking. To defeat the two ultimate enemies of food storage, we need to combat oxygen and moisture. The materials you're gonna need to preserve your harvest will of course include fresh produce, whether freshly picked from the garden or freshly brought home from the store. You will need paper towel. You're absolutely going to need a mason jar, whether regular mouth or a wide mouth. And you will need a vacuum sealer. Today we're gonna be showing you how to use an electric sealer and a manual sealer. Here we have our harvest of banana peppers. When your peppers on the plant have reached their peak color, absolute firmness, you know their time is up. We have to get these removed. If you allow them to stay on the vine too long, they may start to rot, or they may even be attacked by pests. Once you remove these peppers, then you'll give your plant a more opportunity to produce new blossoms and fruit, which you definitely need. Hence, we are here in the kitchen to get our harvest preserved. The first thing we're gonna do prior to getting our food in our jar is to combat the number one culprit to food storage, and that's moisture. What we're gonna do is we are going to get one ply of paper towel. You're gonna fold it in half and then fold in the corners. This we are going to insert in the bottom of our jar. Of course, when you put your jar in the refrigerator, condensation will take place, and having the paper towel in the bottom of your jar is gonna absorb all the moisture. Moisture in your jar creates a perfect environment for bacteria, for mold, and that slimy substance. Therefore, we're gonna get rid of all that by adding paper towel. When you're packing your jar, you wanna make sure anything that you're putting in is nice and dry. Avoid washing your produce until you're ready to enjoy them, because we don't want any form of moisture inside our jar, which will cause our food to spoil. And so you will make sure, if they were wet before, make sure they're nice and dry. Go ahead and pack your jar as much as you can, leaving that 1-inch space. If you want to do this with a wide mouth jar, it would probably be easier, but we're going to use both today. All right, so we have all our peppers in. Anything you're putting in your jar that has water, make sure you get a clean paper towel, and you are going to make sure you wipe that rim down. And then of course, the last thing is to put your lid on. Now we're gonna combat the number two enemy of food storage, and that is oxygen. We're gonna do that using our electronic mason jar sealer. This is a beautiful attachment that will fit both a regular mouth mason jar with this part, untwist it, and you can fit the wide mouth mason jar. There are red lines that you can put it back together and lock it as one machine. Make sure your rim of your jar is clean and no moisture, nothing there. You put those on. Get your sealer, press the power button on top, and within a few seconds, it's gonna remove all the oxygen that's inside of this jar, creating that wonderful environment to make these peppers last in your refrigerator for a long time. Oxidization will cause your food to get soggy, it will lose its nutrient, and eventually spoil, okay? So doing this, then your food will be able to last a lot longer than those baggies. And we'll wait. There you have it, it's all done. When the sealing is complete, your vacuum sealer will automatically shut off. You want to just carefully remove this and pull back on the lid to make sure it's nice and firm. Your peppers are freshly harvested, so you don't want to leave this out. These have to go in the refrigerator for long-term storage. Put your rim on and it's gonna last a lot longer than your crisper jar. So here, your wonderful peppers are ready to be stored. Next, I'm gonna show you how we will use our manual sealer. And this time I'm gonna demonstrate using a wide mouth mason jar. We're gonna follow the same step as we did with the regular mouth mason jar. We're gonna get our paper towel, 1 ply, fold it in half, and then fold in the corners. And we're gonna put this similarly in the bottom of our mason jar. Why? To make sure there is no moisture settling in our jar. We have a lot of peppers. We're gonna try to fill up as many of our mason jars as we possibly can with these peppers. If you have small jars, a little bit of peppers left over, you can go ahead and put those in there, but make sure you leave that headspace, okay? So we'll get our peppers in, and we're going to put our lid on our mason jar. You can see the seal inside this sealer. You will make sure it's nice and down the rim firmly there. And it comes with a nice little pump. There is a hole in the pump and a hole in the top of the sealer. You want to make sure that they are aligned firmly. And you are just going to pull the oxygen outside the jar. You're going to pull it out. No oxygen leaving in there. And you're going to do this about 5 to 10 times until you feel like there is a resistance. Okay, so once you feel that resistance, you know that your jar is sealed. Go ahead and remove the lid. There we have it. All our peppers are nice and firmly packed inside our jar, again, ready to go in the refrigerator. Here's what my refrigerator looks like thanks to these mason jar sealer. This food preservation hack is a great way to extend the life of your freshly harvested produce and those you brought in from the store without having to pull out your pressure canner or your water bath canner. If you're interested in any of these game-changing devices, make sure you check the description box for the link for them both. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you have not subscribed as yet, now is the time to do so. I'll meet you in the comments section. Let me know, what is your go-to method for storing your harvested produce? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy planting! Bye!